I do have some very exciting new books that I have on my TBR. Picked up. Hello, and welcome to this week's vlog. I've already attempted to do this intro about like 3 different times, but for whatever reason my SD card was giving me problems, and so I switched it out. And hopefully this one will work a little bit better so I don't have to keep repeating myself, but we'll see if it like disrupts my recording. I obviously haven't been on YouTube for a really long time. My last video I posted was in October. I had every intention of doing Vlogtober and I had like everything planned out, and then just a couple of things got in the way of me filming. Like my microphone broke. I'm currently not using a microphone, so I'm sorry if the sound is like not the best. And then again, I was having problems with my SD card. Ellie got sick, and then next thing you know, it was like already November. And then November came and I wasn't feeling very well. And then December came and things just got really hectic with the holidays. We traveled back to California to see family, and yeah, it was just a very whirlwind of an end of the year. And so now I'm coming back with a fresh start. I figured I might as well take this opportunity now to use it as like a little bit of like a get ready with me. I'm not really going anywhere other than like Target, but I am wanting to make sure that I get out of the house today. I am also planning to go to the library. I have 2 books that are ready to be picked up, so I have a couple of other errands to run. I was considering going to Best Buy and possibly picking up another SD card, but we'll see if that's even necessary. I've already got mascara on, but I'm gonna go ahead and crimp them again in hopes that it will stay a little bit longer. Anyways, I do have some very exciting news. Oh gosh, hold on a second. Sorry, the sun is coming in and out, so sorry if the lighting is like super weird. But I do have some exciting news. I went to the doctor's, when was it? On Thursday, last Thursday. I had my 2nd doctor's appointment because I am officially today 14 weeks pregnant. I found out that I was pregnant, I think, when was it? In November, like early November, because I missed my period. It was definitely, it was a shock. Obviously I kind of, like, it wasn't so big of a surprise just because like I went off birth control. I decided to get off birth control because I just didn't like the way that it was like making me feel. I just felt like I was having like mood swings all the time, and it was like always sad, and I was tired of feeling that way. I told my husband, I was like, okay, I want to get off birth control. And then literally like all of a sudden I had planned to track my ovulation with the app, and also, you know, get ovulation strips and just be really careful with my cycle and do it like the natural way. It didn't pan out that way. So obviously we were kind of like, oh, okay, like maybe there's a possibility that we could get pregnant, but like, you know, would we be okay with that? So we were kind of like half, or maybe not half, but like 30-70 expecting to possibly get pregnant. I didn't think that it was gonna happen so soon, because they always say like, oh, when you're on birth control and you wanna get pregnant, like, you know, make sure to like stop your birth control like 3 months before you think you like wanna like get pregnant or something. Well, let me tell you, that was not the case for us. I did the blood testing at my last appointment, so we should be finding out the gender this week. Sorry, trying to see if the blush looks okay. Hopefully by the end of this week I'll be able to get my results, so I'll update you with that as well. You know, we're here in Utah, so it's like all of our family is back in California, except for like Matt's mom who lives with us. But yeah, like everyone's back in California, so it kind of feels like, you know, we don't have like a big I don't think we're gonna do like a big reveal or anything like that. And I don't even know how it's gonna work out with like trying to do a sprinkle or anything. But I'm just gonna take it day by day and see how I feel about doing like a bigger announcement. I have told all of our family, like when we were in California for Christmas, we pretty much told everyone, like everyone that we saw, like all of our friends that we saw and all of our family that we saw. But yeah, there's still, you know, extended family and like other friends that like we haven't told yet. Does it look okay? Sometimes I feel like I use the Charlotte Tilbury airbrush flawless setting spray. I just have like the mini version, and actually I've used it all up almost, and sometimes I feel like it makes me a little bit too dewy, but I'm okay with it right now. I'm gonna try and figure out like a cute way to like announce it, like on Instagram. Obviously I'm announcing it here, so but I think this will probably go up by the time that I put that post. But I'm gonna wait until I find out the gender of the baby. I'm really excited to find out the gender of the baby, mainly because I have so many things that I want to sort through that used to be Ellie's. All of the unisex and boys clothes that I had, I already gave to my sister. So all I have left here are 2 bins of toddler or baby girl clothes. And I'd love to use them if I can. If not, I have like 3 nieces that I can distribute them to once I find out if it's a boy or if it's a girl. So it's not a problem. There are some things that I've already like put away that used to be Ellie's that are like vintage items or just like really cute things that I think I would like to keep for Ellie. So I am planning to like have a bin of baby clothes that I will save for Ellie for if and when she has her own kids. But I think everything else, if it's a boy, I just like want to clear them out and clear up some space. So yeah, my due date is, it's funny because my first appointment, my first ultrasound, which was in the beginning of December, they quoted me a July 15th due date, and then Thursday, the last Thursday when I went in, they quoted me a July 8th due date after they were like measuring the baby. So very interesting. And I actually thought, according to like my last period date, I thought the baby was going to be born in June, but there was like a weird thing that happened with like what I thought was my period. Maybe it wasn't my period. Maybe it was implantation bleeding. I don't really know. My periods have been really super light, especially when I was on birth control. It was like lasted 3 days and was like the lightest period all 3 days. So kind of strange. As we get closer, when they do the anatomy scan at 20 weeks, they'll also quote me a date. So we'll see if the baby grows even like faster than what they first quoted me, or if it stays on track for July 8th. But as of right now, I'm like an early July due date. Okay, put my hair in a little half up, half down with this cute barrette that I got it from Anthropology, and actually it came with 2 other smaller barrettes that are just like the alligator clip kind. So I put them usually like here. But yeah, I'm gonna get my shoes. Okay, I'm back from running my errands. I went to Target and I went to the library, and that's all I did. First, I'll show you the 2 books that I picked up at the library. The first one is The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling. I've had this on my library holds for quite a long time. I mean, I put it on hold ahead of October so that I could read it during like spooky season, but it just never happened until now. So I don't mind though. I don't mind reading like witchy, spooky kind of thing. Or I guess this isn't spooky. This is cozy witch vibes, but I don't mind reading cozy witch stories outside of October. I mean, witchy vibes all day long. I'm into it. I tried listening to this on an audiobook, but I just couldn't get into it because the narrator was she was not reading it the way that I thought that it should have been read. Let me know if you guys feel the same way. Like certain people who are narrating or reading audiobooks, I just feel like they're not doing the book justice and they're not reading it in the same way that I would be reading it. I had such a hard time listening to this woman read the story because it sounded like every single line she was asking a question. And it was just like, I don't think that's how I would be reading it in my head. So I figured I might as well just pick up the book. It's a pretty short book too. It's about 300 pages. So hopefully I can get through this very quickly. The next one that I have is The Fairy Bargains of Prospect Hill by Rowena Miller. Again, this isn't like witchy vibes, but fairy vibes. Probably more like a spring read, but I'm gonna take it whenever I can. I saw someone else on YouTube recommend this book, so I figured I would pick it up because this has also been on my hold list for a while, but I think I took it off my holds because there were so many people who were wanting it, and then I think it just all of a sudden cleared up at the end of the year and it was available, so I picked this guy up. Actually, I also picked up 2 books from Barnes & Noble. Let me get those so you can see. Okay, so I picked up 2 books from Barnes & Noble. One of them is Never by Jessa Hastings. Heard of Jessa Hastings through Shanasi Schroeder because she reads all of like the Magnolia Parks series. And then she mentioned this one and how it was like a Peter Pan retelling / like sequel kind of dealio. And I'm all for any kind of Peter Pan-esque kind of realm. So I was really excited to pick this up. The reason why I bought these 2 books is because they were not available at my library in book form. It was only available in audiobook, and I already knew like I wasn't gonna want it. So I just picked it up for myself. And then the other book that I picked up is What You're Looking For Is at the Library. This is by Michiko Aoyama. I saw this book through a TikTok. There were a couple of like bookshop employees who were recommending the best book that they read in the year, in like the whole 2023. So someone recommended this and it sounded very intriguing. I'm really wanting to make sure that this year I put in more diverse reads into my reading list, and obviously this is by a Japanese author, and I've heard that it's very similar to like When the Coffee Gets Cold, that whole like series, which I haven't read yet, but I do want to read. It's also on my list, but I'm hoping that this will kind of like ease me into it, and I feel like this is a good book to read in the new year when you're kind of like, I feel like in the new year you're like starting all your new goals, and this is supposed to be a story of a couple of different people who are searching for answers in their life, and this librarian gives them book recommendations based on what she believes they need. It sounds like a very compelling story, and I feel like it's perfect for like the new year. So yeah, those are the 4 books that I'm gonna plan to read this month. I have a goal. I guess I'll go over my goals for this year. I think I'll go over them tomorrow when I have like a little bit more time. But one of my goals for last year was to read more books, and I just wanted to read 1 book a month, and I ended up averaging out 2 books a month. Obviously there were some months where I read like 4 books or 6 books, and then there was like a couple of months where I literally read nothing or 1 book at the most. So this year I want to up it and see if I can read at an average of like 3 books a month. So I want to total out at 36 by the end of the year. But hopefully I can get through, well, I'll need to get through both of these by the end of the month because they're due at the end of the month. And then since I own these, it's like I can get to them whenever I want to get to them, but I feel like I really want to read them soon. So these are my 4 books that I have on my TBR for January. Now let's get into the Target haul because there's some fun stuff. I did a Target order pickup, but they were out of something that I needed. And so when I went into the store to get like a replacement for it, they had the actual thing, which was super annoying. But it's fine because I went and explored the Target value section, and I got a lot of cute stuff. So I'll show you the things that I got. The first things that I got were these 2 metal tea steepers. One's a teapot and one is a little heart locket. Really cute. And I drink tea all the time, so very useful. I also got this lightning bolt power strip. I just thought it was really cute. I really liked the color, I liked the shape, and we're always needing more power strips, so it's useful. I also picked up this set of jars that I thought would be good for like doing overnight oats. I also had this adorable dish scrubber. I got this for Ellie so that she can kind of like play with scrubbing her dishes or whatever. I thought this would be like a fun thing for her to have. And then I picked up a couple of dental things. We were all out of our Listerine, and I've seen so many people pick up this brand of mouthwash, so I wanted to try it out and see how I like it. And then I also grabbed some floss picks because these were on sale. So, and then the last thing that I got from the value section, obviously the dental stuff was not from the value section, but the last thing that I got from the value section is this really cute. I got Ellie a cute little popper. She loves poppets. She's like obsessed. And obviously this is like a very small little mini one, but it's cute because it comes on a keychain. And I actually just bought her, I got her like a little strawberry bell. So I'm gonna try and make like a cute keychain lanyard, like fidget keychain for her to have in the car so that she has like stuff to like play with and entertain herself while we're in the car. Tea, just the peach honey and the mint. I'll go through mint tea like so quickly. And I saw that we had like 1 peach honey tea bag left, and I had it this morning and I forgot how much I really enjoy it. More bath salts. I really love Dr. Shields bath salts. I always feel like so good taking a nice like bath with the bath salts, and this one smells really, really good. I also picked up this all over body balm from Vaseline. Again, another thing that I found on TikTok that I thought would be really good, especially for my belly and also my lips because my lips be chapped. I also picked up Aquaphor. I mean, I guess both of these are kind of like doing the same thing, but this one I think is gonna be more for just like my hands. My hands have been super, super dry lately. And then I also grabbed some rosemary mint scalp and hair strengthening oil. I just have been feeling like my scalp has been kind of, I feel like it's been kind of like a little bit itchy, a little bit dry, and I just kind of want to try something else that will maybe strengthen and like bring some health back into my scalp. And then the last thing that I picked up is the e.l.f. Holy Hydration Lip Mask. Again, my lips are so, so dry right now. Definitely a must for right now. But yeah, that is my Target haul and my book haul. This is how I know that it's time for me to get my hair cut, because it gets to this length and I just put it up. And like, it's not even that long to be able to be put up in like a proper ponytail or anything like that, but I just cannot be bothered with my hair right now. It's just not giving me what I need it to be. moisturizing
moisturizing my skin this season, especially since I am pregnant and I know that like my belly's gonna be stretching. I already have stretch marks from Ellie. I already had stretch marks even before I had Ellie, but when I had Ellie, I was super itchy all around my belly, and it was because I just like wasn't moisturizing enough. So I'm trying to be a little bit better at it. I currently, when I got out of the shower, like straight up turned the faucet off and didn't even towel off yet, I used this. I got this We the People body set from Sephora a while ago. This is their Featherweight Hydrating Body Gloss. I'm almost done with it, as you can see. It's really slippery. But I used this all over, and hopefully it does the job in keeping everything moisturized. I also, one thing that I really like is also the Lush Buffy Bar. It's an exfoliant, but also has like shea butter in it, so it's really super moisturizing and hydrating, and like really keeps your skin soft. So I've been using that like once a week. Hello. So I just got some very exciting news. The nurse called because our genetic testing had come in. She said the baby's fine. All of the baby's genetic testing came back really good. She was going to tell me the gender of the baby, but my husband is currently in a meeting, so I just told her, oh, like, can you put it like in an envelope and I'll pick it up? And she was like, yeah. So I have to go to the hospital and go pick that up right now. It's my first time at this hospital. I've been going to a different hospital for my appointments. So I believe this one that I'm going to is the actual one that I'll be delivering at. So I'm kind of glad because I can kind of get a feel for like where I'm supposed to go. I just put Ellie down for quiet time, so she'll stay here with my husband, and I'm gonna go pick up the results right now. I'm so excited, and I'm glad that it didn't take as long as they said it was gonna be. I got the blood test done on Thursday, and it's Tuesday today, so it's very, very quick. So I'm excited, gonna have the results very, very soon, so I'll check back in with you when I open up those results, but I'm gonna make sure that I do it with Matt, so he'll be here with me to open it up with you guys. So be right back. So I just got back from the hospital and I have the results. My husband's going to the restroom and then we're gonna open it together. I'm very excited. Obviously, I don't have any preference of if it's a girl or a boy. I feel like I have like pros for both of them. Like I really like the idea of Ellie having a sister. I like the idea of being able to use all of Ellie's old clothes again and not having to like purchase like so many new clothes. But then yesterday I was looking at, or this morning I think, I was looking at Instagram, and there's a girl that I follow who has a son and she dresses him like so cute. And I was like, oh, like it would be so fun to dress up a boy. And I told Matt, I was like, but then I'd have to redo your wardrobe too so you guys could match. Okay, you ready?
Let's open it.
Okay, let's open it. Okay, any last minute guesses?
I really don't.
I know. I really have like absolutely no idea. But first, the nurse did say that all the testing came back good.
That's good.
Oh,
we're having a boy!
It's a boy!
Wow!
That's so weird.
So was that on your radar now that you think about it?
I feel like I think I thought that it was gonna be a girl again.
Yeah, I kind of felt that way too.
But then yeah. It's just like, who knows? Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
What are we gonna now?
Oh,
we're in
this
trouble.
Is the hard part.
This is why we want a boy, but we didn't want a boy. If we didn't want a boy, it would be for the reason that we can't come up with a name.
I know. I don't know what
other
to
than
name.
my own name.
I know. I just don't like any other names.
Well, now that it's...
Boy names are hard.
Now that it's settled, now that we know that we have to come up with it, it might be a little easier. Because I think maybe we both were leaning towards girl. And so we're like...
I was leaning towards a girl because the name, I really liked the name that we had picked out.
Just name him Magnolia.
But now we're not going to use it anymore. So,
So who are we gonna tell first?
Right.
Wow.
Now I have a lot to think about.
Yeah, we had to get rid of a lot of clothes.
Yeah, I have a lot of stuff, but at least now I know that I can go through them and like separate them.
Ellie's not gonna be happy.
I know. Ellie said she wanted a sister.
She's clear on it too.
She's pretty clear.
She said, I should ask her. She said, a girl.
A girl. I'm like, okay. Wow, so cool. Imagine though, like we go to the 20-week anatomy scan and it's actually a girl. Because that's happened before too.
Has it?
Yeah, where people will get results and they're like, oh yeah, you know, like it's a boy. And then you come to find out and they're like, it's not.
That's weird.
Or the opposite.
Yeah, I am.
So crazy. All right. Well, a lot to think about then.
Yeah.
Testing 1 2 3. I'm really hoping that the audio is a lot better. I finally got a new audio cable for my microphone. My first couple of January clips did not have the best audio and I had to do a little bit of editing on them, but welcome back to the vlog. This is going to be such a long vlog. It's over the span of like several weeks, couple days here and there, but that's just kind of like how it had to be. The first week of January, Ellie ended up getting sick, and then Matt got sick, and then I got sick. And I am coming off the tail end of that. I currently have an ear infection, which is just so fun. So I kind of like can't hear the best out of this ear. It feels like it's plugged right now, but nevertheless, we're gonna get through this vlog. In the beginning of January, I had already planned to really just take it easy. I wasn't trying to be like my most productive the first week. Of course, that's also the week that Ellie got sick, so it was kind of like it worked out because we all got this sickness and then had to recoup from that. So we haven't been going to the gym. I haven't been able to take Ellie to like her dance classes. We just like haven't gone anywhere. Pretty much the only places that we've gone were like to the grocery store to pick stuff up. I've gone to like the library to pick up some books and drop off some books, and that's about it. This week we've been able to get out a little bit more because Ellie's not sick anymore, Matt's not sick anymore. I'm not really all that sick except for my ear infection, but like ear infections are not contagious, so it's fine if we get out. But I did want to go over some of my 2024 goals. However, I'm not really calling them goals. Yesterday, I did a little video chat with my best friend and we went over our 2024 vision boards. And I was telling her how, you know, I have all these pictures on my Pinterest board of like
all of my goals. However, I'm not really looking at them as goals. I'm really looking at them more as like possibilities and opportunities that I want to give myself. I'm really not trying to like stick to any guidelines, try and reach any like milestones in terms of like, in terms of reaching like a numeric number. I know like obviously if you're really trying to be productive and really trying to meet some hard and fast goals, that's when you would want to put like a numeric number on things so that you can actually track how well you're doing. I think they call them like SMART goals or something like that. But for myself, like my whole theme of 2024 is to take it easy, to slow down, and really just let things come as they appear for me. I am not trying to hustle this year. I'm not trying to, you know, hit the ground running or like grind really hard. Like I'm just trying to live my life. And obviously one of the main reasons why I'm doing that is because I am pregnant, and pretty much for the first half of this year I will be pregnant, and then the second half of the year it will be my first time having 2 kids. So because of that, I really am not trying to put a ton of pressure on myself. I feel like there have been many years where I like make all of these goals for myself and really try and like stick to the numbers and try to get like, you know, hit these numbers, and then I fall flat and get disappointed with myself. Last year, the only 2024 goal that I kept up was my goal of reading 1 book a month, and actually I averaged out at reading almost like 2 books a month, or reading over 2 books a month. I read, I think I read 26 or 28 books last year. So I was really proud of myself for that. And because of that, I feel like this year reading is still part of my goal for this year, but I'm just like gonna try and read a few more books. With knowing how well I did last year in terms of reading, my first goal for this year is to continue that goal of reading every month, but instead of reading just 1 book a month, I want to try to read at least 3 books a month. And that way I'll have a total of like 36 books that I would read by the end of this year. And so far I've already read my first book. I've already finished my first book. The first book that I finished was The X-Hex by Erin Sterling. It was really great. I really enjoyed it. I finished it in 2 sittings. Of course, I'm the type of person that reads like the first 40 pages, lets it sit for a couple of days, and then I'll pick it back up and then like plow through the rest of the book. So that's kind of like how I read. But I've already started my second book for this month, and it is The Fairy Bargains of Prospect Hill. I've had this on my library TBR for a long time. Last night I literally only read the first chapter, and that's kind of how I am. After reading a book, I'll usually ease my way into the next book. I don't try to like, you know, get through a large sitting. Usually my second sitting will be like the largest amount. I'm hoping that I'll finish this by this weekend so that I can start my next book. Today I went to the library and dropped off The X-Hex, and then I picked up this book. This is Kismet Connection. I can't remember who recommended this book. I'm not sure if it was Shaughnessy Schroeder or there's a new account that I started following here on YouTube. Her name is Kim Rodriguez. I think her channel is called A Life of Poetry. Both of those 2 YouTubers, booktubers, they always recommend really great diverse reads, and I'm pretty sure it was like either one of them that I saw this book recommendation. So this will be my next library read after I finish The Fairy Bargains. I do also still have 2 books that I picked up from Barnes & Noble earlier this year as well that I want to read. I try to read through my library books first because I know that they're like on a deadline. This particular book is less than 300 pages, so I know that I can get through that pretty quickly. The Fairy Bargains, I believe, is just under 400, so it's a little bit longer, but so far is already very interesting. I definitely like the Fae realm. I know that I'll be able to get through it really quickly. Another one of my goals for 2024, I kind of picked this up from someone that I saw on TikTok, a mom who lived in San Diego, or who lives in San Diego, and one of her goals for 2023 was to get outside for a total of 1,000 hours in all of 2023. And if you average that out, that's about like 3 hours a day. Of course, she lives in San Diego, so it's a lot easier to get outside and like spend more time outdoors. Again, I'm not putting the pressure on myself of actually reaching 1,000. I've written down 1,000 to like kind of put it out there in the universe, but it's just kind of like a good goal, I think, to put in your mind like, hey, like get outside today. So that's actually what we did today too. We went to the library. I took Ellie to story time. After story time, we walked to the park because there's like a trail that leads right up to it. Of course, we weren't able to play on the playground because it's just full of snow, but we just walked the trail a little bit, saw the ducks in the pond, and just got some time outdoors. Ellie just ate her snack on the bench, and it was just nice to be outside for a little bit. You know, obviously we're all bundled up. It is a warmer day today, I will say. I think it was like 42 was like the highest that I saw, but there is a lot of snow on the ground, so it's still pretty cold. I definitely have a goal for myself to get outside more this year. Last year, I feel like we really did get out a lot during the summertime. We were pretty much outside every day, just like chilling in our backyard. But I definitely want to get out to like the trails a little bit more this year. I've also been thinking like doing more like daily walks, if not after breakfast, like after dinner walks. I feel like I've always heard that it's very good to walk after you eat. It just like boosts your metabolism and helps you digest your food. So that's kind of like something that I would like to throw in. But again, no pressure, just something to keep in mind to get me out of the house. Another thing that I wanted to do this year was to get back into my like crafting hobbies. So I'm already I would say I'm like an intermediate sewer, but I haven't sewn anything for myself in a really long time. The last thing I sewed for myself was a dress. I'll put a little video here so you can see what I made, and I love that dress. And it was relatively easy, just very time consuming because there was a lot of shearing. But I want to get back into sewing, and then two new crafts, I guess, that I really want to get into are crochet and embroidery. And one of the reasons why I wanted to get into crochet was because I was looking at some bonnets that I wanted to purchase for myself, and I saw, I think it was Lee here on YouTube. Lee, I'll put her YouTube channel here. She's an artist. I think she's in Ohio, and I love her vlogs. They're so inspiring. But she crocheted a bonnet, and I was like, dude, that's so freaking cute. I want to make one myself, even though I have no crocheting experience whatsoever. But I went to Joann's this past weekend, and I picked up some basic crochet needles, and then also 2 skeins of yarn. I have one here that's just like a basic, what is this? This is just a basic acrylic yarn. And then I also picked up one that is 100% wool. I figured I would use this to practice on, and then once I'm more comfortable and feel a little bit more confident about diving into a bonnet, I'll make the bonnet out of this. Very ambitious of me, for sure, but it's just a craft that I want to pick up, a hobby that I want to pick up. I also want to get into embroidery. I have this embroidery kit that I bought a long time ago, and I just haven't, my camera's gonna stop, hold on a second. I got this guy a long time ago at Aldi, and I just never got around to actually doing it, but it comes with like patterns to follow, instructions, an embroidery hoop, some thread, and yeah, again, just like another crafty hobby to pick up and like a new skill to acquire. There are some other crafty things that I've gotten from like a long time ago. Like I have these 2 wool felt kits from Daiso that I've been wanting to try out. And then I also have this punch needle kit that I got from Joann's a long time ago. It was on clearance, so I thought maybe I'll pick it up. So yeah, I have a ton of hobbies that I want to try this year. And again, the idea is just for me to utilize my time a little bit better, where I'm creating something, I'm making something with my hands, instead of just like continuously, endlessly scrolling on Instagram and TikTok, and you know, I just like want to be able to be a little bit more intentional with my downtime. Another thing that I wanted to show, so I made these bonnets. These are little bunny bonnets for kids. I made these years ago for the little small business that I have with my best friend. It's called Wolf and Wallaby. We started out with dolls and matching dresses for the kids. I made these bunny bonnets like one year during like almost Easter time. I never sold any of them, but I want to try my hand at making more bonnets and selling them again this year to see if there's like a demand for it basically. But I had this idea. Obviously right now I'm like really bonnet obsessed, but I had this idea of making bonnets similar to this, but instead of bunnies, I wanted them to be fruit. So I bought some fabric from Joann's this weekend to do a little strawberry bonnet. So it'll be very like Sunny Angel-esque. Or what's that one famous photographer back in like the 90s who would take pictures of the babies dressed as like flowers? It's kind of like very similar to that vibe as well, but with this it'll be a sewing and an embroidery project because I want to embroider the little seeds onto the bonnet, and then the green is just going to be like the green topper. So that's like another project that I have lined up for myself already. I think I'm going to start on this weekend, but before I get going on it I need to embroider it first, and then I'll be able to cut out the pieces and assemble it. I'm going to try out a couple of different like designs as well. Like I'm not really sure if I want the green topper to be like here at the top of the head or if I want it to go around the actual face. So I'm going to try out a few different designs. Those are all of like my crafting hobby goals. Again, I'm using goals very loosely because they're more just like things that I want to put out there for myself to do, give myself the opportunity to do them, but not pressure myself in any way to complete a certain number of things. Because I know that these next 6 months are going to be my last 6 months, just the three of us, I really want to take advantage of the time that I have to enjoy any kind of quiet time I can have to myself before we bring in a new baby. This whole first half of the year is going to be a lot of self-care for myself, a lot of alone time, a lot of downtime, focusing a lot on getting some relaxation in. Obviously, the reading and all the crafting, like those are all things that I consider to be relaxing hobbies for me. Of course, once you put like a time limit or like, you know, a number, like I said, just anytime I'm trying to like add a numerical achievement to it, I feel like that's when it becomes a little bit more of like, ooh, this is getting to be stressful, and I don't want them to be stressful. I want these to be things that I can come to so that it is the trigger for me to understand like, okay, this is me taking downtime. So that's what I'm hoping with these guys. And then of course, with the goal of getting outside more, you know, that'll just be my way of getting some exercise, first of all, getting some vitamin D, because according to my blood tests, I am a little bit vitamin D deficient, so I'm currently taking vitamin D pills. I definitely want to get some more sun throughout the day, spend a little bit more time outdoors. Definitely once it warms up, I want to have more picnics outside, like walking the trails. Not even necessarily needs to be like a hard hike or anything, but just like an easy walking trail that both me and Ellie can do together. Another thing that I have on my vision board for 2024 is getting back into tennis. I used to play tennis in high school, and then I didn't play for a while, and then when me and Matt got together, we started playing tennis together when we lived in Roland Heights, and that was really fun because it was, again, just some time for us to spend together, and also we were outside and getting like some exercise in. So I'm not sure if this is going to be something that I will be able to commit to before the baby comes or if I'll have to wait until after the baby comes, but I would like to get back into tennis this year, and then definitely after the baby is born, I also want to get back back into skateboarding. So when we were in Long Beach, we would skate all the time. I mean, we would skate from our apartment to the beach and then just skate all along the pier. And it was so fun. And while I've been out here, I haven't skated much. And definitely I'm not skating right now. So after the baby comes and after I'm cleared to do some exercise, I want to get back into skateboarding, specifically into surf skating. Girl Swirl just announced that they have beginner tutorials, video tutorials online, and I think it's like for under $50 for like 11 videos. I would always see their Instagram reels where they would do like little tiny snippets of tutorials, but you're never getting like a real full like extensive tutorial on like the basics of surf skating. And now I feel like with their video tutorials that they've just come out with, I feel like I'll actually be able to get a full lesson. That'll be something that I can look forward to in the second half of the year. When you make goals for the new year, a lot of the times you are setting up goals for like the whole entire year. But I think it's good sometimes to compartmentalize certain goals so that way, you know, you have certain things to look forward to. I have a couple of things that I am like saving for the second half of the year, like after I have the baby. So one of those things is surf skating lessons. And then another one of those things is I bought the Artist's Way a long time ago, not very long ago, but I bought it last year and I started it, but I never got to finish it. So I do want to take it back up again, but I think it'll be a good time for me to reflect on things after I've had the second baby. And again, it will just be like another time that I can make sure to set aside for myself. Those are two things that I have like set aside for like the second half of the year. Obviously like the reading and the crafting, like all of that stuff is more like year-round things. I think it's nice to know that like I don't need to worry about those two goals or, you know, possible intention opportunities until like the second half of the year. I feel like it definitely relieves some pressure. And again, all of my 2024 goals, I'm not trying to put pressure on myself. So it's definitely, everything's loose, guys. Everything is loose. So yeah, those are all of my goals for this year. I do have some other like content creation kind of goals as well. And those ones I've actually put numbers to, and I am going to try to be consistent with it. I'm already behind, like technically, because these past couple of weeks I've been sick and like have not had the energy to even try and like put anything together. I don't want to half-ass anything. I'm keeping it on my back burner, in the back of my mind, and hoping that eventually I can get to achieving some things, but I'm not trying to like I said, I'm not trying to hustle and grind. I do want to be more active on YouTube for sure. I am very much someone who gets a lot of like my entertainment through YouTube. Like I don't really watch like news shows or anything like that, but I have YouTube accounts that I like follow very closely, and I figure since I'm already on YouTube, I might as well like also be on YouTube myself. So that's kind of like how I look at YouTube personally. It's more of like I already feel like I'm somewhat part of the YouTube community because I've been a very like devoted watcher of YouTube, but now I think it's like time for me to get like involved in creating content for YouTube. So hopefully you'll see more of like my vlogs, and I have so many ideas. It's just a matter of like having the time to record things and edit them and put them out there. But you know, I'm trying my best. Obviously I have a family to tend to, but yeah. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I know it was a little bit all over the place, but I wanted to finish it off with getting my goals out for you guys. I'm very interested to know if you have any goals for this year, or like I said, if you don't want to think of them as goals but more like opportunities and possibilities and just like your overall intentions for the year, I'd love to know what your plans are. Yeah, I'll catch you guys at the next vlog. Bye.